Yeah, we had to hit the record button. We had to just go ahead and hit the record button because all of the good content was going away.
I felt like this was happening the last show.
Yeah, I just stopped talking. We gotta hit the record button.
All right. So
hey guys.
Hey everybody, get that usual intro in.
Glad you're here.
Yes. We have a special show for you tonight.
We do. Special show, special guest.
Yes, we've got a good one for you.
Hey Jason.
Hi.
Those of you who listen have heard Jason's name quite a few times.
Yes.
He's basically the only one that gives us
You are
Boostagrams.
the official sponsor.
Yes, for
of
sure.
the Boostagram sound booth.
Yeah, that is absolutely the case.
Well, I was listening and I heard was listening to the Triple Mash episode.
Yes.
And I was like, man, I really should have sent him two.
It was so
Oh,
good.
that was amazing.
I'm like, oh no. Like this stuff is too good.
Yes.
I was looking up merch like immediately. Anyway, it's, that takes a little bit, but yeah, we gotta find a quicker way to get that to Texas. That's all I'm saying.
There you go. I was surprised maybe to receive an invite to be here.
You absolutely shouldn't be surprised.
And I wasn't certain what to bring to the table. So
you brought a few things?
I brought some beer and
some gear.
Nice. I'm so excited.
Well played, sir.
Well played. So what are we drinking?
I haven't made up my mind yet.
Okay. Well, you want to show us what you got?
This is smorgasbord 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
Last week.
last week we were a little bit disappointed.
The last
Yes.
episode, I heard that there was 3 options. And I was like, well, I don't know. Chris was complaining about the bitter.
I see a milk stout.
Yeah, I've never had that one. So I went 3 from the same, Michigan
Yeah.
Founders.
Got to represent.
Founders.
Way to go, Founders.
So you got the Founders Porter, Breakfast Stout.
Oh.
And
the Dirty Bee.
Yep, that one.
Keep it PG for the kids out there.
There you go.
Do we have any kids listening to us? Who knows?
Overspill. That's secondhand listening.
Secondhand listening. Oh, nice. That is a great way to put that.
A Bach that I haven't ever had.
Ziegenbach.
Ziegen, yeah.
That's an Old Faithful.
And then a few Lefthand Brewing.
Lefthand Brewing.
The milk stout, yeah.
And
then
the Nitro.
Nitro. Milk Stout Nitro.
So,
or you don't know what to do with yourself. Listen, the guest has to pick first.
I'm like drooling over this. This is nice.
Give me your opener. I'm going to drink my Hofbrau.
Hofbrau.
I've got my Dunkel that I didn't drink last time.
It's good.
I know.
It's good.
It's going to be great.
I
also have a Rasputin if anybody wants to feel bad about
drink
themselves.
The Rasputin.
No.
I'm not going to subject our guest to the Rasputin.
Listen, I will drink this Dunkel, and then if we get to number 2, maybe it won't taste so bad.
All right.
I can tell you why I'm not a bitter beer person. So IPA's not happening.
Did you hear that?
I did.
That was awesome.
Glug, glug,
I'm glad
glug,
I got
glug,
that. Yeah, no, I don't do IPAs either. I was talking to one of our friends about that, and that understanding that like IPAs are IPAs because they had to be made that way to make it to India.
Is that it?
And it's like, yeah, you don't do that on purpose, though.
No. It is an unfinished beer.
Don't drink that. It's supposed to be on a boat for like a few months. Then you drink it.
Has to be aged.
Aged in a barrel.
There you go.
For a few months at sea.
And poured through an oil filter.
And then sloshed back and forth a lot.
Yes.
Anyway.
My brother loves IPAs. I don't
get it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't get it either. So I don't know, Chris.
Oh no, you choose. You're the guest.
No, that is true. See, the point of doing like he chose the milk.
He took the Nitro.
But that was the point of bringing 3 options. But there were 2 of each.
Well, no, I wasn't going to be that kind.
Yeah, that's not nice.
Yeah,
not nice.
And
look at that
frosty mug.
Like, how did you do that? It's just
now I know
you just had ice in your bag there.
Now I know why you brought the other bag.
Yeah. Nice. Well done.
Nice.
You see the chiropractor, you get these things.
Yeah.
There's a wrap for your back. Cold wrap.
Yeah.
Cold wrap.
Never seen that used for putting your pint in it. I'm just saying.
Not a bad idea.
Jason was born for this podcast.
Apparently so.
I don't know. if not born, he was at least bred for it. So,
All right. I will try the milk stout. I haven't had that one yet.
the Lefthand. Yeah. Left-hand milk stout. You've got your like job.
I got my left hand, and I'll put a Guinness in the right.
There you go.
Oh man, don't pour them in this.
No mix.
No.
Anyway,
So
cheers, fellas.
Are you going to share the
You were
opener?
pointing it, and I was like, I have no idea what you're doing.
Yeah, it was behind the scenes stuff.
No, I'm not going to share the
John
opener.
is not sharing tonight, folks.
Sorry. It's, I mean, when you're looking at everybody else, like, oh, man, that's some nice beer. Look at that.
Oh.
I mean, we got some, what is it? Is it ASMR? I always get this wrong.
Yeah, ASMR.
I'm supposed to hard pour this, but that was not what I did.
Hey,
You did for part of it, at least.
it looks tasty.
That the head is forming.
Ooh. Empty bottle.
Feel good about that.
Nothing.
All right. Here we go.
Cheers.
Cheers.
What's the verdict?
Ooh, that's good.
The milk stout guys have enjoyed what they're drinking.
That's tasty.
Likewise. I think it's just the nitro.
You're
version of
sure
what we
you don't
have.
want the Rasputin?
That can be number 3 because I won't care then.
By 3, we're like, no, it's I don't taste anything.
Just whatever. So, I mean, what you're saying is true, Jason, and probably what you have is what I have plus nitro.
Plus nitro.
Yeah. I mean, I think, yeah. That's
Go nitro or go home.
Yes.
Listen.
Oh, wait.
Yes.
No, I did get the, I went back to East Texas Brewery
Okay.
and got the,
Their nitro stout?
yeah, what
I don't remember the name of it. I have to look it up.
McGuinness?
That's right. McGuinness.
McGuinness Nitro.
Nitro. Yes.
Because you got I feel like you got the Nitro and I just got the McGuinness.
Yes.
Okay.
Anytime
I was trying to explain that to somebody. And I was like, it wasn't the same thing.
Yeah. Whenever there's a nitro on the menu, you have my attention.
Yeah. Listen,
Okay.
I'm listening to you.
Yes. Now give me the nitro.
Now give me the Nitro.
There you have it.
Well, it was a good show. Talk to y'all later.
Yeah.
Just going to sit here and drink for a little bit.
Yes.
So before we actually get into why we're here, I was asking Kris when we were walking in, Jason, if he had heard about what Rode just dropped. Did you see what Rode just dropped?
I haven't even pulled it up. I had not heard.
Okay.
And
So
Kris was just talking about what he saw.
yeah.
And we kind of laughed a little bit at the beginning.
We kind of laughed a little bit. So Rode has always, not always, Rode has been manufacturing microphones for a long time. And then it was really cool whenever they came into this, like, oh, we should do this podcaster
Yes.
thing. So they had some microphones that they really like pointed towards podcasting. They were like, this is a good idea. And then they were like, we're going to make this interface. And I mean, it's what we're using tonight. It's what, Kris, you have one,
Yep.
the Rodecaster Pro and then the Rodecaster Pro 2 that we're using now. I think really like are fantastic products. And I have enjoyed watching what they're doing with that. And Kris and I have talked about this quite a few times. Like they did the, Pro, came out with the Pro 2, and when they did that, they also were like, hey, we know some of you don't need all of these channels. It's basically just you or just you and a guest.
Yep.
What if we do this in a smaller form factor and make it a little bit easier to get to? Cool. Everybody likes that, which evidently there were a couple problems with it lately.
Yep. USB.
With some firmware hopefully being able to fix it, hopefully anyway.
Yep.
But one of the other products that they released, and what we have talked about a few times is maybe something that I wanted to look at, was the Stream X,
Yes.
which is a small, like super small interface. But it has an XLR and it has a HDMI in. So this is for a single person
Yep.
to have a single camera.
And if you needed to, you could leverage one of the USBs
Yeah.
for a second mic if you had to in a pinch.
But it's really like there are no faders. It's too small. Like it is very much like you have to choose what you are interacting with at any given time, and they're knobs. And so it's a very simple thing, but could be really useful, especially for those of us that really like to integrate with video stuff.
Yeah. You've got to really like their software in order to effectively control that one.
Yeah. Well, they heard my wondering, which was, hey, I wonder why Rode doesn't like beef this thing up a little bit and give a better example here. Because, I've been sitting here thinking like, well, I'm going to have to integrate the Rodecaster with Blackmagic stuff. And we all know, like, there's nothing wrong with Blackmagic as long as you have a fan.
A fan.
True statement.
But sure enough, Rodecaster came out with the Rodecaster Video.
Yes, the clouds have opened.
The clouds have opened, and they have done this.
Down.
Now, I was initially disappointed. I will say that, because when I looked at it, I was like, "You gave us 4, at least." I mean, it has 4 HDMI inputs. Y'all can pull it up if you want to. On Rode.com, it is their featured product right now. But they gave us 4 video inputs, so 4 HDMIs. There's actually more than that, but 4 HDMIs, and there's only two XLRs. And I was like, okay, that, like, it feels like that was a little bit...
2 shots per person.
2 shots per person. And we are talking about video shots, not other shots, but,
I blame you.
Probably that wouldn't hurt either. Yeah. And I mean, it just felt too specific to me. But then I found out, not only is one of the USB-Cs or 2 of the USB-Cs, it's hard to tell how I've read a couple different things that have made me wonder whether or not the 2 USB-Cs that are labeled as video or microphone, if those are able to be used as both microphones, or if one of them has, like, if they have to be one or the other, or if you can use them both at the same time, even with that. So
they'll get you in a future firmware update.
Yeah, that's always what that means. But it is interesting to note that it has not been super transparent with what that is, at least on the initial release of this product. But what I was excited about was that they do have the integration like the Rodecaster Pro does with the Rode mic or Rode wireless mic Pro, and I think Go, maybe just one. I don't remember. But instead of just having one receiver, it can actually receive both of the or 2 wireless Pro transmitters.
Gotcha.
So that's a big deal. I mean, it
is.
You can just use your XLR inputs as shotguns at that point.
You could. Now, would you like to tell everybody the official price?
No, I don't, because that is the bummer.
We'll sleep better tonight.
You'll sleep better tonight knowing that you probably aren't.
You can't afford it?
Going to get this right off the. Anyway, it's $1,200.
I'll catch it when they clearance it out.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we'll see. But you can get it at B&H, like even on their website. It's like, hey, you look at B&H. I was like, wow. I mean,
have you dabbled much with Blackmagic's audio bits and pieces and processing?
I've done a little bit, but like I said, I like Blackmagic. I almost said I like B&H. I do like B&H when they're open.
Yes.
Not during certain Jewish holidays.
I mean, it is Rosh Hashanah coming up.
Yes.
So
hurry up and order.
If you're going to order, you better order now, because they're going to be closed for a little bit. And I mean, don't get me wrong. It just always seemed like
when you needed something.
When I needed something was when there was a holiday that I did not know about.
Multi-day holiday. And like, come on, guys. Anyway, respect it. It's great. But it definitely... my Blackmagic, it's not a distrust. It's not like I'm whatever. I'm always a little bit like expecting something to go a little bit haywire. It doesn't matter what product it is that I'm using of theirs. I'm always expecting some sort of glitch. Like needing a fan.
Like Oh, you're not functioning because there's not air blowing against you right now.
I couldn't tell you how many times I had to send somebody out to buy a fan because I forgot it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was like, no, you need a fan for that piece of gear. You got to blow the fan at the back of this product or it will not function.
They put huge heat sinks on the back, but
Right,
somebody
but-
said it doesn't need a fan.
It doesn't need a fan. It's got huge heat sinks. Have you ever rack mounted anything? You need a fan, man. Anyway,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's that thing that I'm like, just this much more, man. And I would have been like totally sold on you as a company, but
I can tell you that their the audio that they have in their software suite
yeah.
for doing post editing and whatnot is pretty impressive as far as
You mean Da Vinci?
yeah. Well,
For
the I can't think of the
What's the audio?
audio plugin that is a part of their application.
But Da Vinci is the video.
Yes. But I have done a lot of overdub work with that and applied effects and processing and whatnot, and I've
it
been
works
pretty
really
impressed with how it lands it on the track.
Yeah, you don't need a fan for the software.
No,
It's
Well, your
it's
computer.
working in a machine that has a fan.
very true.
I'm just saying. Evidently, fans are their like
I'm with you.
Achilles heel.
They don't want noise.
Like, you know what? It needs to be quiet. Something like that. But that's not why we asked you to join this podcast.
No. I do have one question real quick, though.
Yeah.
When did Rode go all white with their gear? Do you see that?
Yeah, they have a few. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those.
Mics, mic stand, Rodecasters.
Yeah, everything. They make everything in white as well as black, it seems. I know why they did it with the wireless mics. Because you want a bride and a groom.
There you go. I've also taped a lot of microphones with white e-tape
That's right.
to hide it
Just
on a tux.
gotta hide it.
I don't think I like the white.
I mean, you don't have to like the white, but
If-
it is.
if
It
you're
is
ever
weird
doing a
that
wedding-
like everything is white. No, but they did the Rodecaster Pro in white. They did the microphones like the pod mic
Pod
and
mic
the
USB.
and I think the broadcaster is also in white there,
be.
and the Duo and all of it. I mean, it's just like everything is in white as well. It's like, okay, that's. I mean, no, it's the NTH 100. That's what that is. It says it right there. No, that's the headphones.
Yeah, NTH 100.
Sorry.
Yep. And it looks like the PSA 1 Plus.
Public service announcement.
Yes.
Yes.
Plus.
It's a good mic arm, though.
+1
Plus. One plus.
with
Come
a
on.
twist.
Anyway, it's a lot. I don't really no, I don't know. I don't know why. But they've got some good stuff coming out. So be looking at Rode. Figure out how we're gonna afford that beautiful piece of plastic.
We need a ton of boosts. Looking at you, Jason.
Yeah, I see that.
Jason,
I think if you add up all the boosts I've sent, just because it's fun to do it, it's like, here's 25 cents.
Yeah.
Here's 30 cents. I mean, it's just fun to do.
right?
I can give you a running total.
Up to you, man. At
I don't know that
current
everybody's
Bitcoin
in-
rates, or
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah, see, we're just holding on to it.
Well,
It's gonna spike again.
there you go.
I'll throw out sats first and then the dollars. Mm-hmm. So it sounds better in sats, I'll admit.
Of
Always
course.
does.
17,238 sats.
Wow, dude.
That sounds
listen, money bags.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cash value, $11.22.
That's not nothing.
I'll take
Well, it's
it.
not nothing, but
I'll take it. It's not
mean-
a nothing burger.
I'm just saying.
I mean, if Bitcoin doubles,
I-
it's $22. I
Right.
mean,
That's correct.
It's gonna be great. Just can't wait.
put it in the bank. Or buy a beer.
Or buy a beer. Here at this critical juncture, we feel like we are going to buy a beer. Okay, so let's actually get into it.
Okay.
Because Jason, like I get the general concept, but I feel like there's a lot that I've got to be missing here. Talk to me about audio over Ethernet.
I don't know that I don't know that you would be missing too much.
I just need you to, lay it out there for us.
Turn up the nerd knob.
Turn up the nerd knob. If you
This
can
one
find
goes
the
to
nerd
11.
Yes.
Why can't you just make it louder and keep it 10?
Crank it to 11 and rip the knob off.
This one goes to 11.
But it goes to 11. Beautiful quote. Yeah, so we're talking mainly, my experience with audio over IP is all in the world of Dante.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know if you would call it protocol. I kind of think of it as that, but
it's definitely turning into that.
Yeah.
The number of integrations that they have make it fairly industry widespread. I don't know how to say that any better.
It's all over the place.
Yeah.
It's from, you could download software, pay for the license, get a few channels on your laptop in and out. A lot of manufacturers are either baking it into their product or they're making cards that you can slide into product.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of cards.
A lot of digital audio consoles will have a Dante card. Mm-hmm. Depending on how they built their console and what its capabilities are, you can purchase cards sometimes based on how much I/O you want. Mm-hmm. You might be able to find a card that does 64 in and out. You might be able to find one that does 128 in and out. Mm-hmm. They make them all the way up to 512 channels in and out, which is kind of crazy when you start trying to figure out how much bandwidth you're going to consume.
I'm like
going over that.
At what point are we like, oh no, these switches need to be
10 gig,
10
gig,
multi-gig.
We need to be going to some fiber between these.
Well, work related, this idea of using Dante came about maybe in its inception for me back when there was a program at camp related to schools learning wilderness things. Mm-hmm. And there was talk from one of the directors that they wanted to have some type of welcoming music playing with intermittent announcements about like where their cabin is and when they're going to meet next. And they wanted this all playing from a central location, and they were across two different properties. Those properties were connected over the network.
Man, I absolutely love it when
I mean, we could go pirate FM if
when program when program people are like, I've got an idea.
I've got an idea. So that's where that's where this originated.
It's a good thing I'm a magician.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Show that window. I just did the whole thumb separation.
We really need a camera in
trick.
here.
the whole thumb separation trick. Mm-hmm. I did that one of my kids yesterday, and Levi
lost his mind.
He was just like, and I made a lot of noises when I did it, and I got a shout from the other room saying, "Are you okay?" Did I throw my back out or something?
No, I'm just pulling my finger off.
Just doing tricks for the kids.
Oh my gosh! No, I'm not okay. My thumb is gone.
Yeah.
And of course, Levi thinks he's got it figured out, so he's trying to do it to people, and it's just too cute.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
But I don't remember exactly when Dante came about. It's been around for a while.
Yeah.
But and then the company that developed Dante, there's kind of a parent company behind it, and it's called Audinate. So Audinate kind of licenses Dante. They develop it. Mm-hmm. They only make 3 or 4 pieces of hardware themselves, other than the chips.
Yeah.
And I have a couple of them here, some 2-channel in, some 2-channel out, but they're literally just like rat tails that are PoE powered. And the thought is that we could put the software license on one computer. Mm-hmm. We could stream this out. We could get your powered speakers, whether it's your QSC K series or some old Mackie 450s that are still floating around, and you could plug these bad boys in there.
That was really cute how he threw a bone to us.
Yeah, he did.
Old Mackie users. I'm just saying there was a lot of them.
Yes.
It was,
and there still are.
We didn't have the money that you have now. I'm going to go ahead and say that out loud.
You may. But the idea was
sound box. That was never a thing.
Yeah, those are pretty slick too. But the idea was that you could just plug this into the back of the this thing. So it has a network jack on one side, a little breakout with 2 XLRs, and you could plug this into the back of the speaker. Plug the speaker into the wall, run a network cord to it, so we could set these speakers around the property at different strategic locations and broadcast this program audio out. And nothing ever came of it. I don't know if at the time it was cost, price,
something
about it wasn't quite wasn't quite what they wanted
Priority.
to be.
Yeah.
But then, was it three or 4 years ago now? One of the camps that does a carnival on Friday evenings wanted to really bring that experience with audio up a notch, but they really didn't want to be stringing cables everywhere. XLR mic.
That's hard to believe. Why wouldn't you want to do
Why
that?
wouldn't you want to do that?
You
You
don't
gotta
want
tape them
trip
down
hazards
everywhere. You
everywhere?
got to bury them in the dirt.
I really feel like that's the way to go, though, is burying it in the dirt.
Burying it in the dirt.
Direct bury some XLRs, and you really are
Just go ahead and
going the next level there.
tell the nurses, hey, just go ahead and come on over, be a part of the production.
Get ready
It's
for the
gonna be
lightning
great.
strike.
Just wait.
Or the trip.
Trip hazards.
But we tried this, and we configured a few different switches around the buildings that are on the peripheral of where they do the carnival. Mm-hmm. And we got them set up with the transmitting side of it was off of one of the buildings with a mixer. Mm-hmm. So they had wireless mics there, and those mics worked, a few feet out of the building into the carnival area. We would drop the signal onto the network from there, and then 4 different locations from there, we had speakers set up that were tapping into that signal. And most of it was background music, but they had somebody out there playing MC, for the event and announcing when the burgers were ready and everything like that. And it worked really well to the point where they're like, we want to add another speaker, or can we do this here? We're going to use it on opening day. We can put music in 4 different places and it just matches everywhere. And that was kind of the impetus for rolling this out in a few different places. Mm-hmm. One other camp picked it up. Actually, 2 other camps picked it up. And it really just started becoming a hodgepodge of networked audio with just 2-channel in, 2-channel out adapters. So, but it worked great. It was a lot of fun. Plug and play, essentially, once they're configured and set up.
But mostly what you were sending is a stereo out, and you were...
I was just doing mono.
Oh, okay, there you go.
There you go. The microphones were mono. The mixers had a mono out. We just did mono.
There you go.
Now, when I first plugged these things in, not knowing anything about Dante, knowing that I had to have a controller to build the matrix, because there is a software piece of this.
Okay.
You put them all on the same subnet, and the software sees all of them, and you can name them, and you can start making patch points in your matrix to connect the I's to the O's.
Were you using this like on your main network, or were you doing a separate?
We were doing it on a VLAN.
VLAN.
That we set aside for audio video things.
Yes, VLANs are your friend.
You may be asking,
Yes.
Yeah.
self, no, what kind of
Self?
bandwidth does this take?
Yes, that's exactly what I was asking. Self.
Just like when you're recording a podcast,
Yeah.
like we are here, you have different settings in your recording. You got your bit rates, you have your sample rates, you have what type of compression are you going to use when you store it. So they come with a lot of different options. You can do your 44.1, the old CD sample rate. You do 48, which is pretty standard in most mixing systems. But now there's a few that are up there in the 96 kilohertz range. You take that number, let's say 48,000, 48K, 40,000, and then you take your bit depth, which could be anywhere from 16 to 24 to 32, multiply those two together, and that is your bit rate per second.
Nice.
Yeah, that's not
Just
counting
did some math
that's
there.
not counting
You
the
did.
overhead of what it takes to packetize the data and put it in a frame and send it down the network using your 7-layer burrito method.
Yes.
Nice.
Watch
Which,
out
I mean,
for that
that-
8th layer.
It's so nice to have somebody talking to us that's been listening. I'm just saying.
Yes.
I
Doesn't happen
the
very often.
7-layer burrito. I did like that reference.
Yes,
I don't remember if that was the name of the episode or not.
it was.
But I'm busting out the calculator here. So you got like 48,000. Let's say you do a 24 bit depth. You're looking at roughly 1.1 megabits Mbps.
Megabits.
Yeah, that's not bad.
That's not too bad.
No. I mean, you expect it to be more than that. That's all I'm saying.
And that's uncompressed.
Yeah.
That's not an MP3. That's not a WAV file. That's just audio
Right over
over the network.
And all of that is configured by the controller.
Yes.
Because
And then
it's
it's
not
stored-
like y'all can't see these adapters. There's no settings on
Pictures
here.
in the show notes.
You're not seeing like
Yes.
you're not seeing like dip switches on this bad boy.
No dip switches. There's no button.
no knob,
There
nothing.
might be a factory reset button, maybe.
I don't see it.
Actually, I don't even see that.
Nope.
I bet every time you pull the PoE,
You got to stick your tongue in the cat or in the RJ45. You
Cut the network cable, twist pairs 1 and 2 together.
Don't do any of this.
This is starting to sound like an Aruba configuration cable is what it's starting to sound like.
That was good.
I actually ran a 100 base T one time on a corporate AV project that had a POTS line.
I feel like you told me about that.
I ran a POTS line on one pair.
When you
I
first
ran
came to Pine Cove.
100 megabit connection on the 2 other pair. Wow. It was a funky cable.
Yeah, no. We've all seen our share of funky cables.
The triple dongle.
Like, wait a minute.
Hey now.
The triple dongle was a sight to
show.
see. It is a family show. I did watch a short the other day that had like people around a conference table.
Was this the Trip and Tyler video?
Comparing dongles.
It had to have been Trip and Tyler. They did some great videos.
And then somebody walking in being like, "What are y'all talking about?"
Yeah, that was a bit over the top.
It was pretty funny though. My dongle's pretty old.
Link in the show notes, people.
Yeah. So you plug all these things in.
Yeah.
You plug all these things in. You launch the Dante controller.
Yeah.
If you're all on the same network,
Yeah.
everything comes up peachy.
Yes,
Let
it
you know
does.
if there's firmware to update. Let you click your cross points in your matrix. There's this odd thing that I learned about, again, going back to when I first plugged these in. I had one dongle that was 2 channels in, and I think I had 4 dongles that were 2 channels out. So I plug the first one in, plug the second one in, I get all of them in there. I see all my outs to my 2 ins, and I hit the checkpoint on channel 1 to channel 1. Then I go to the next dongle and I go channel 1 to channel, and it's like, it wouldn't connect. So I went channel 1 to channel 2, and it went. And then I would click the next one, and it was like, I can't do this. I have no more streams available.
Right. It had to be 1-to-1.
Well, what I learned was that by default, the Dante audio uses a UDP point-to-point connection.
So it's like
they call it a flow.
Yeah, you are doing this one channel to that one
which
channel.
Is great on the network as far as what the switch has to handle and do.
Right.
But I couldn't get that one signal to more than 2 dongles.
Right.
Well, there is another setting in here that allows you to set up what they call multicast flows.
Okay.
So then what happens is your transmitter becomes a giant broadcaster.
Yeah.
And it starts hitting
everything
on the VLAN.
Which again
is only 1.1 Mbps.
But is still like, that's a lot.
But if your VLAN crosses, I don't know, 15, 20 switches.
Heyo.
All of those trunks between those switches are seeing that traffic,
Yes,
and they're blasting
are.
that out on any.
My gosh, I
on
just
any
got
port
really nervous.
On any port that's on that VLAN.
Hold on, let me think this through. It goes from the stage. No, I would come out of the booth, so it's going, and we would have to do the lower. No, because both of the boards are plugged into the lower booth. But we're going through 1 switch, 2 switch, 3 switch, just to get to the grade school building.
Yes. And yeah.
Now over the trunk, that it really might not be that bad.
Right.
And if you only have a few ports on that VLAN, they're the only ones that are going to see it.
Yeah.
Well, here's where I'm still learning and trying to understand things.
And this is where ubiquity would come in really handy.
Let's bring Kris into the mix here.
Okay.
IGMP snooping. What
Okay.
say you?
It can be a benefit depending on what you're trying to do.
You can also hose your system if you.
Well,
Never mind. I'm going to stay out of it. You talk.
I can tell you that I have it personally. I have it turned off at home.
Yep.
So if you're having, I have seen cases where I've had trouble on a particular VLAN not seeing a given device. I've turned it on and it seems like it's made some help there.
Okay.
But I keep it off.
So the way Audinate or Dante teaches IGMP snooping in the world of broadcast streaming audio is that if all of your switches in the chain can do snooping, and I think there is one switch has to be the host of something, and the word is escaping me. But it keeps kind of a directory of all of the devices that subscribe to a multicast broadcast. So what happens with IGMP snooping on is it limits where the broadcast goes on the ports on that switch.
Correct.
Even if it's on the same VLAN, if the device on that VLAN isn't asking for the stream, the switch won't send it down that wire.
That's nice.
So that's a way to kind of clean up, especially if you have a large VLAN and a lot of devices in the VLAN that aren't a part of the multicast piece. IGMP snooping can
Which I
keep
think
those
would be
devices clean.
That's the majority of. I'm sorry, I don't know that, but it seems like for those of us that this isn't the thing that we're doing, we're not dedicating hardware to this, and that's what I was actually afraid of. To tell you the truth, part of what I was nervous about was in like you can read all this, but then you don't know until you have actually seen somebody put this into practice exactly how much of this you're running into. You know, you don't.
Sure.
You can read all day long, and they can make claims about this and that or whatever. But until you actually see, like, no, it really isn't going to affect the rest of your network if you separate it.
Sure.
You know, do your due diligence and separate everything the way that you're supposed to. Like, you sure hope so, but
Yeah.
And to be clear, what IGMP is technically doing behind the scenes, it's almost as if the devices share the same IP address, so that way they can get the messaging. That's essentially what's happening.
They're up there in the 255 address range.
Yes.
Dedicated for broadcasting. It's called an IGMP querier.
Yes.
So you can have a
Sounds fancy.
You can have-
Querier.
yeah, you can have
sounds British is what it sounds. I don't know if I trust that.
it doesn't have the British U in it,
Freaking
like
Red
glamour.
Coast. Oh, nice.
So
I like that. That was good.
Or parlor.
Parlor.
In America, we would drop one of these.
Savior.
Well, so we dropped the British U in a lot of words, just not
We do.
glamour.
Just not glamour. That's correct.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, well,
I mean, sure.
It's time.
there you have. Oh no, what is this one?
It's
Number
the O-
two, this
it's
is the extra stout.
This is the
OG.
OG.
He is
Guinness Extra Stout.
going to his Guinness.
This is the granddaddy of all.
Yeah. Well,
Later, I'll explain why I have this.
So I
later you're going to
Later.
explain. Okay.
Yes.
So I had set up, going back a little bit of my experience in this. That camp that was using it for Carnival. We deployed the soundbox.
unnamed camp.
We deployed the soundbox speakers org wide this last spring, and that kind of took away the need for this networked audio because they have a different wireless protocol that does essentially the same thing in a smaller footprint. It worked out well for them. So we were able to pull the Dante piece out of that camp, and it actually saved them a lot of setup and tear down time.
Chris is getting weird over there
yeah,
with
he's
his
like-
beer. I don't know, man.
He's pretending it's a pillow or
Something.
All will be explained later.
caressing the bottle.
Okay. Well, we'll just keep moving. It's fine.
Well, so
So they're using Soundbox instead of this Dante.
correct. Yes.
That's interesting to me because the Dante can go much further than the Soundbox can.
On a wire.
Yeah.
Dante will not do Wi-Fi,
Yeah. No, that's
but
important
that's because
to know.
of broadcast bits and pieces, I think.
Even if the SSID is on that same VLAN?
Oh, we should do some testing, Chris.
Oh,
'Cause I'm sitting here
Now we're
going-
talking. No, I mean,
they
you would
claim
have
it.
to.
They claim it does not.
You would have
So
to
that
have a
could be a-
receiver for it.
I would love to know.
This is not a wireless receiver.
Well, no, but if it hits
A wireless bridge is
a wireless
different.
bridge on the other end,
And then radios down to it, or
Yeah,
not radios
and then
down.
hands off Ethernet.
Ethernet's
Our
down.
true test.
challenge accepted.
Challenge. Chris is like,
This is our
bull crap. I can make it wireless.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. I think you would have to get the software license on one of the computers and try it over Wi-Fi. But anyway,
Okay.
Again, challenge accepted.
He's thinking. You
So-
got him thinking. I like it when you make him think.
yeah, you got to do that sometimes.
Yeah. I'm like, just
So
Chris, whatever you come up with.
I
that's
took all
fine.
these dongles
Yeah.
out of circulation and they sat in a drawer for a little while.
Yeah, that's hard, man.
And I was plugging them in.
It's hard to be a retired dongle.
It is. It is.
Just can't.
You can't look over there.
He's 13 years old. It's fine.
So they sat in a drawer for a while. And when I plugged them back in a few weeks ago, I was like, I static IP address these things. And I don't remember. I think
Which
they
one
were
was it?
on.
You didn't-
They were on a specific VLAN.
Specific. The beer's kicking in.
Maybe. It's warm in here, in my opinion. But
It is. Hold
It
on.
is.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Talk amongst yourselves. So I'm plugging these things in, and I'm like, there's no factory reset button. I don't think I realized that at the time. But I plugged them in anyway, and I knew it wasn't. I had no switch ports in the office that were on the AV VLAN, so I knew the IP of the device wasn't going to match.
That's a bad IT guy.
I know, right?
You gotta
fire
put
him.
So I plugged it in.
He's an AV guy.
I plugged it into
the
the Office VLAN, and my computer was on the Office VLAN, and I launched the Dante controller. So I have the device and the controller on the same VLANs, and all of a sudden a message pops up in the controller, and it says, "There's a device on this subnet that isn't properly configured. Would you like to reset it?"
Yes, please.
And it gives me the IP address of the device.
I'm sorry. My mouth is on the ground right now.
I was dumbfounded by that.
That is amazing.
I was like, how are they talking to each other? They're not even on the same network.
It's basic discovery.
It probably is. They're pulling some kind of Meraki voodoo.
Don't rain on this parade for me.
I gotta pull back the curtain.
No, like, okay, yes, I get it. You're smarter than us, but
No,
like,
no,
this is like when y'all know Stephen Myers.
Yes.
We got a gobo for the
You talking the A size one that I can't find any lights for?
that one.
Okay.
So we bought that thing, and we were like, "This is going to be awesome. We're going to put it on the. We bought 2 of them, and we're going to put them on the lights.
I know right where they are.
In Cowan, and then we're going to show them on the walls or on the ground or something, and it's going to be awesome because there's going to be a big pine cone on everything. And sure enough, we did that. And like Snoop was a part of like Steven was a part of like figuring out like saying like, oh, we should do this and everything like that. And I think there was some general excitement about it.
Sure.
But on that day, like he's in go mode, and so we're like, hey, Snoop, look at the go mode, and he's like, yeah. I was like, excuse me, like we are celebrating a victory over
I just
here.
took my first step.
And he's
We
like,
have made fire.
we have made fire, and he's like, that's what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah.
This is not a party. I was like, oh my gosh. Like, yeah. And the projectors are supposed to work too, but they're not.
They're not.
Thanks, Ford.
Oh my God.
Oh man. Or they show up late. That was my first experience. Oh, the truck broke down. They're not here.
No, it's
Yes.
fine.
Boy.
We're not going to badmouth.
But anyway, I was really surprised that they
Yeah.
even saw each other.
Yeah. But
I'm
evidently
like-
it's not a big deal,
Well,
Chris.
it does multicast, right? It
Yeah.
does broadcast stuff. It
It's
should just
basic
throw its name
discovery.
out there.
I'm going to throw this
It's the
Rasputin
same.
at you.
It's the same essential concept of your phone discovering. Oh,
John's making weird
I
gestures.
bet you would
over
like
here.
this.
Yes, I would like it.
Yeah, you,
Can I have that?
Mistreat
Can I
me?
have your F-bomb?
It's around here somewhere.
I'm going to make it work. If you can
I'll
open
have
any
to-
beer, it's going to be this
I'll have to
Rasputin.
figure out a link in the show notes for that reference.
Yeah, sorry.
You can just take a picture of it and throw it.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
Man, oh man. But no, so I've been impressed with it so far. We've been playing with. I don't know if anybody out there is familiar with the QSys
Watch the face.
systems.
There it is.
Careful.
It's just it's
Welcome
a, it's
to
a
my
little
nightmare.
it's a little bit like anytime
bitter.
this no it's not
Yes.
even bitter to me. It's flowery. It's like somebody sprayed
So it tastes like bread.
perfume in it. No, or like soap. Soap.
I
It tastes
told-
like soap to me.
I
This is what
totally
I tell
didn't.
Like potpourri.
Paul all the time. I'm like, no, oh.
One man's garbage and another man's potpourri.
Yeah, no, that's disgusting.
Don't you my yum? Is that what they say?
I'm afraid I didn't
I
get
don't
flowery in mine. It was just bitter.
Yeah, I don't. I think, but that's what I think. Like when other people say bitter, that's what I actually taste is some sort of flour. It tastes like I'm chewing on a flower.
Are you eating flowers when you go home?
No, I mean maybe.
I heard somebody the old joke years ago
Judgy
when
much?
potpourri was a big thing. They're like, this trail mix is awful.
Oh man, this trail mix is awful. No, I agree with that. That trail mix is awful.
Yes.
Bad Rasputin.
You bought it.
I did.
And you must finish it.
I will, but like, it's like Vlad the Impaler over here.
Oh man.
Anyway,
So
sorry.
I'm kind of lost on the train here.
Yeah, we keep rabbit
But I'm still
trailing.
on the
Sorry about
train,
that.
so that's a good thing.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Basic Discovery. That's where you were.
That was just, I was impressed by that. It helped. It helped.
You're amazed, but really, like
He's
if we could put a word on this, it is basic.
Basic Discovery.
Okay,
but it worked.
For audio guys, this is amazing.
Amazing.
Chris. So, but like, here's my, like, I love this idea. I love the idea of being able to go, and you've got the USB-C dongle.
For those who don't want to pay for the software license for your computer.
Yeah.
But you still need a network drop.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's a great idea.
USB-C works around the license?
Well, this
You
dongle
don't need
is
the
licensed.
Yeah, you bought the dongle.
You bought the dongle. It's 2 in, 2 out in one dongle.
Intriguing.
And since these are only 2-channel or 4-channel devices, these are only 100 megabit ports. But they're only ever taking in 2 or 4 streams.
Yeah, it's like 1.1 a piece. Ish.
They clipped it.
Huh?
They clipped it.
They clipped it.
Snip.
Anyway.
So, man, there's a lot of different use cases for it.
Yeah.
I was starting to go down the path of QSys.
Yeah.
Yes.
So here's an example of an audio DSP or processor that has variable configurated ins and outs.
Mm-hmm.
And most of their, at least the stuff I've been dealing with, comes with an 8x8 Dante license for the purchase of the hardware.
Wow.
Now, I could pay them a licensing fee and they would unlock the other 24 channels, giving me 32 I/O just in Dante alone.
Through that speaker.
Through that processor.
Processor.
Yeah. So it's been kind of fun to tinker with that a little bit.
Well, I went to what kind of started me down this path was actually going to
Was it the conference?
QSys, it was WFX and going into that QSys not
I listened
display.
to that episode.
Yeah, of course you did. But like going into that demonstration of their stuff, and I was like, I mean, this idea is incredible. This is the wrong room for you to show off these speakers because it was.
Were they Dante-enabled
horrible.
speakers?
Yeah, they were.
Interesting.
And that's what I was like, okay, like that really messes with me on some levels because they were talking about not just the Dante integration, but how like the speakers are communicating with each other about even tilt levels and stuff like that. And really like them being able to auto configure to not have dead zones in their, not to have phase cancellation inside of
phase cancellation,
what they're sending out. And I was like, hold on. Like, I just need, you guys did a lot of math on the back end. And now I'm trying to figure out like, if that's actually possible. I just need a minute.
And if you want to hear what John's talking about.
All right. My brain hurts.
Episode number 5.
Yeah.
Yes, your speakers are working.
Yes, your speakers are working.
Still to this day, the most popular episode.
Yep.
Wow. Way to go, John.
I don't know that I had anything to do with that, but it was mostly me.
It was your report on the conference.
RCF is amazing.
RCF is pretty good.
I mean, there were a bunch. They were really nice, and it was really amazing to listen to all these high-end speakers and be like, wow, there really is they all have very distinct sounds, but not a single one of these would you listen to and be like, yeah, that's crap. Except for when they put us right in front of the QSCs and we're like, loud. And it was going like, okay, these need to be not right in front of my face. Like, because it's just so much.
When I first started in audio and video stuff professionally, way back in the 2 000s.
Oh my gosh.
The place I was working for had acronyms for a lot of
aughts, yes.
The 2 000 had acronyms for a lot of the different sound companies, and they would refer to JBL as just bloody loud.
Just bloody loud.
Like, they're not the best speaker out there, but they're loud.
They are.
I mean, and sometimes it's what you want. It's like when MKBHD does his camera, like phone camera side by side. Turns out mostly what people like vote for in a phone camera side by side is the brightest picture.
Yep.
Yeah, interesting.
Like, I'm not saying that that's the best picture, because there's all kinds of things that can go into that.
Yeah.
But if they're just doing like a quick, not pixel like peeping, like not whatever, just looking at two pictures side by side, usually it's the brighter picture that's going to win.
That is crazy. There's some psychology there.
I think so.
But there is.
I know that when you're designing a theater or a video space, as far as conferencing and viewing goes, there are some calculations that an engineer or designer would run that have to do with how something bright in the room is almost an unavoidable distraction. Like if you're looking at a screen and there's something over here that's a certain luminescence brighter than what you're looking at, it will draw your attention.
I'm just saying, we've got two enormous windows in our great room, and so we had to do a lot of work to make the stage brighter, and got a lot of pushback on how many lights we put in. And it was like, well, this has to be brighter because that's pretty bright.
Or you're going to squirrel.
Yeah. I mean, oh, wow.
Squirrel.
Keep the shades down.
Stuff out there. Yeah, no, they can't do that.
Yeah,
that's everybody's favorite part of the worship service. Anyway.
Now, one of the things, somebody in the audience right now is going, what about latency? Because
that's exactly what we were
What
all
about
thinking.
latency?
Tell me about what latency.
I just was like, man, I got to talk about that, but I forgot until now. If I was listening, I probably would have been saying that. What about latency? Dante is great, I feel, and some people could probably argue it with me. I'm no expert here, but
Challenge accepted.
oh no, here we go. So I have a debate partner.
I have nothing.
Okay, good. The latency between certain devices is set to 5 milliseconds,
Okay.
which is quite fast.
Yeah, that's really
In fact,
fast.
Through the Dante training that I did,
That's like
a few
right at
weeks
the
back.
imperceptible.
Yeah, well, they would say if you were a drummer
Yeah.
and your microphone was catching the audio, putting it on to Dante, receiving it at your headphone amplifier, and sending it to your ears, Dante would probably beat the audio to your ears than just acoustically traveling the 5 or 6 feet from the kick drum up to your head.
Most impressive.
I
Because
mean,
audio
that's
travels
like
at what,
right
1
at
millisecond a foot, roughly.
Yeah, it's like that. So I'm like, I don't think it's 5 feet from your
kick drum to your head.
no.
Well, if you're playing standing up,
I'm gonna go ahead and call bull on that, but it is really
it's
fast.
It's really fast, and there are certain,
It is imperceptible fast.
There are
The difference is
yeah.
ridiculous.
There are certain devices within the Dante lineup that can come down to 1 millisecond, which is kind of crazy.
That-
to me.
I- that doesn't even make sense.
I can't imagine you can go a switch hop at that rate.
No.
So,
But you wouldn't need to, because if you're going a switch hop, that means you're covering a pretty significant distance.
or you just needed way more ports.
Yeah.
You got to switch at the stage.
I'm
and
trying
switch
to.
at the
Yeah, I'm
booth.
trying
I
to
mean,
like.
that's a switch hop.
That is a switch hop. You're right, but anyway.
Yeah. So,
But if everything is going through that switch hop, then it is really hard to tell the difference. Ooh, man,
so some of the
that's
things-
something to think about.
yeah.
Stay on the switch.
I can tell you that they allow you to build in latency in the signal path with the controller. So you could say, hey, I want all of my devices to run in a 10 millisecond latency. And what happens is with the way they run their clock on the network, even if it's there early,
It'll wait.
it'll wait so that it hits the 10 millisecond latency so that everything lines up.
Yeah.
So they boast a fairly,
Yeah.
I don't know the proper word, time synchronized audio across multiple channels.
Yeah. It is. I mean, it is important to notice, though, like if you are doing what you said at the beginning with trying to send something across multiple buildings and stuff like that, like there is a certain amount of latency. If it's outdoors, especially if you can hear the original signal from where the delay is coming from, or if you can hear the original signal next to the speaker that is also sending, you are going to hear that speaker, and then you're going to hear the original sound, and it's going to sound like that echo.
That's good.
Like that. Ooh, gosh, like I'm hearing two of everything.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's why you would delay the far side to
near.
match the.
Well,
you would delay
depends on
from
the
the source. You would delay the far side to match the near side reaching the far side. Does that make sense?
I think. The way I can tell you that in one situation where I have it, if you know where here I'm going to throw out the Towers camp, the basketball court that was way in the back.
Yeah.
There's speakers on the patio of that right now.
Okay.
You can hear those speakers where the old Tum Tum current office is.
Yeah.
And then if you come further down towards the entrance of camp, before I added delay to the office, which is the speakers closest to me, I would get a slap from I would hear the office, and then I would hear the gym. I hear the office, and I hear the gym.
Yeah, because you have to
So I would
delay
delay the office
so
that it lined up
so that it lines up with the
shot out the audio when the
whatever
waves
is closest to you has to be delayed.
Correct.
To hear the
farther away thing.
which again messes with you if you then go the other direction. I'm not going into that. You hanging with us, Kris?
Hanging in there. I feel like you're calling me delayed, though.
How's the Guinness?
I am not. Yeah, how's the Guinness over there?
The Guinness is quite good.
But I think you can configure it all the way out to, I want to say 50 milliseconds. You can get out that far.
Dang.
And I don't know that you would ever use that in a live audio application ever.
No, I don't know why you would do 50 milliseconds.
But I could see that in a distributed audio setup. Like if you were, like here, you've got 3 buildings on the same campus.
Like if you wanted to put all of them to 50 and then they all come out at 50, that would build in some buffer.
The ability to be a little late on a packet exchange and still get it out on time.
I mean, this is the whole, like, we use Resi for our live stream. They have a built-in minute and 30-second delay so that if there's packet loss, they can go back.
And not miss anything. Yeah.
It's really nice.
And they let us know when there's a problem.
Yeah, they sure do.
That's also a good thing.
It is.
Hey, you don't have, except for that one time that they just didn't turn on the encoder.
Come on.
Never mind. There's some things that you just can't, like, I don't know. And maybe you can. I'm just bad at this, I guess.
That's the layer 8 problem.
It is a layer 8 problem for sure.
I feel like one of the most common use cases for Dante, though, is snake splitting.
Yeah.
Probably the most common use case.
Which is a big deal. I mean, you remember for sure the, snake splits that are hardware.
Transformer isolated.
I mean, those things were, when you used to have to carry the snakes on your shoulder because they were that many channels and the cables are like that big. You're winding them like you do a pool vacuum, like coil. Like
when they get that big, I just squat down on the floor and I coil it up on the floor.
Yeah. Why not?
Heaving it over.
There's nothing else to do, but
that's that's
old school problems. Now we got Cat 5. We can just put that over your elbow. Cat 6.
Cat 6A, Cat 7.
Cat 6A, and just throw it over your elbow and go
Stomp
to town,
on it.
right? No big deal.
They make fiber.
Yeah.
Tactical fiber.
Ooh, yes.
That feels like I should be making body armor out of it.
I don't think it would work very well as that.
No.
Yeah, don't do that.
It'll survive somebody stepping on it.
That's important.
And I think they drove a truck over it.
They did.
On gravel.
But what happens if they put
Yes.
what happens if they put a backhoe, like shovel?
No, it's
Backhoe wins every time.
Every time.
Every time.
Doesn't even have to be sharpened.
No,
it doesn't.
No,
Or new.
just big,
Hydraulic pressure.
hydraulic pressurized.
It's gonna happen.
Oh my gosh!
But it's been fun. It's been fun to play with it. It's been fun to come up with use cases for it.
Yeah, I can't wait. They're definitely like that's a. I think all of us have a little bit of that itch to like try the thing. We just want to try the thing. We just want to see like what problem can I solve with this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's another tool in the tool.
It's another tool in the tool. Like I would love to solve a problem with this. That would be so much fun. But knowing that solutions limitations is really important inside of that. And because there's some places that are talking about using Dante for like their entire, front of house setup. And I'm like, it's still in that Wi-Fi category to me where it's like, I understand that it works and there's a certain level where I'm okay with like this living here, but I still want a cable for some things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're saying instead of any XLR, they're just doing straight up Dante
Yeah.
with all cat cable.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And they're going to their front of house and they're going to their live stream with it.
Wow.
I say a lot of places that are using it for mission critical pieces, they're doing it on an isolated network.
Yeah.
They're not trying to VLAN that on some other.
No, they have switches that are totally
Yes.
that's what they're for.
And then in the very mission critical side of things, they'll run 2 isolated networks because a lot of the
And that's-
professional level
yeah.
Dante cards have a primary, secondary.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing is a lot of like there's what it is providing is redundancy that they wouldn't have over other stuff. And I'm like, I get that, but you've got to like go there. You know what I mean? Like you can't half-ass that solution. Like you've got to whole-ass that solution.
Thank you, Ron. I appreciate it.
Don't half-ass 2 jobs. Whole-ass 1 job.
Man, oh man.
It's real.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's, yeah.
I've got the seed man in my head. He said it.
The seed man.
It's real.
It's real.
There it is.
Just an arbitrary scream
Yes.
for no particular reason.
Alex Jones is good for fun. Don't take him seriously.
On a side note,
Please
Dante,
don't take him seriously.
Dante does training online that it currently is free.
I like free.
It's kind of a video based training. The guy is a little not hard to listen to, but his cadence is very intriguing.
What would they be if they weren't?
Right, a training video, and then you do tests. If anybody out there is
Dante certification program.
if anybody out there is CTS or any of the AVIXA, AVIXA, CTS, CTSD, CTSI, or maybe just CTS, but it stands for Certified Technology Specialist. The Dante training does count as renewal credits towards your continuing education.
This says Dante Mastery Certification, and now I have a new goal.
One thing I learned when I started the Dante training, they're doing video now. Dante video.
Yes, you blew my mind with that not too long ago.
Like Rode doing video. You got Dante doing video.
Which does, I mean, it's not, again, you're like, hey, it's not a big leap. I was talking to Chad Larsch about this this morning, actually. The whole, like, you got Rode going from, oh, we're making microphones. Oh, we're making audio interfaces. Oh, we're making a video interface. And it's like, oh, that makes sense. As opposed to Yamaha.
Well, they make motorcycles.
That it's like, we make motorcycles.
And trumpets.
And trumpets.
And pianos.
And pianos and mixers and speakers. Like, what?
It's the Swiss Army knife.
What redheaded nephew?
There's no redheads in Japan.
Oh, that's true. Never mind.
Well, I shouldn't say that. That's a very general statement. There might be. That was ignorant.
But I mean, seriously, it seems like all of a sudden, like if Yamaha was Walmart, they got into everything all of a sudden. I don't know how that happened, but it's like, you know what? We need to be able to make motorcycles and pianos. It's really important.
And we got to be able to play them while riding.
While riding.
No way.
That's some Schroeder stuff right there. Anyway.
Schroeder. Liking that reference.
You got a...
I got a couple of things.
Couple things.
So I guess we'll go with a new one.
Mm-hmm.
For tonight, I'm going to call it the Beer and Gear Drunk Tank.
Drum tank.
Drunk.
Drunk tank.
Not drunk. So,
I was like, drum tank.
No,
I've
not
never
drum
heard of
tank.
that.
I got to get the mic for that
Drunk.
drum.
yeah,
Tank.
regretfully,
Tank.
I have to do a retraction/correction.
Okay, but you weren't drunk.
No, I wasn't drunk.
Was it the triple mash?
No, it was not the triple mash. The triple mash.
It was when he was
awesome.
on the Rasputin. And that'll just make you say some crazy stuff right there.
Oh, the bitters.
Well, yeah, as you're trying to handle the bitter aftertaste. Yikes. So, a couple shows ago, thought I had an amazing tip for everybody. Go to BJ's, couple of great off-the-menu beers. One of them happened to be a black lager.
Which sounded good.
And
It
those are
did.
there.
Where?
Some of the time?
Because I talked to the lady at the bar.
No, what she didn't
couldn't get you was the growler.
No, she couldn't get me the black lager.
What?
Yeah, I said, I need to get a growler of the black lager. She said, which one? I'm like,
The black lager.
black lager that's supposed to be one not on the menu? And she's like, what are you talking about? Like, I was here a couple of weeks ago and the waitress said y'all had a black lager that was off the menu.
She's gaslighting you.
Oh, yeah, I feel like
she totally tricked me.
now that you're saying that she's saying that the beer doesn't exist, I'm like, no, that's gaslighting right
That
there.
never existed.
We're going back.
She told me the beer doesn't exist.
All right, we're on our way. We'll let you know.
There's still some more due diligence
Yeah,
to
we
be
need
done
to
here.
figure this out.
Sure.
But we may have told you some misinformation.
I want
disinformation.
everyone who's listening to this to go to a BJ's and be like, where is the black lager?
Off the menu black lager.
Off the menu black lager.
I'm in the
Yes.
know.
Yes. So, more details to come, but I was quite disappointed.
Oh my gosh, that's
and
terrible.
that, my friends, is why I have the Guinness.
Yeah, it's really important.
Because that was a destruction of my quest.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to come here tonight,
You
the
needed
three of us, with a growler full of a unique beer that none of us have ever tried.
no. And you had to go for the comfort blanket.
I did. So
That
I
he
had-
was
I
that
had-
he was snuggling earlier.
Yes.
For those of you that couldn't see it.
yes, I had to lick my wounds, and so I went to the OG Guinness Extra Stout, and it is so good,
Oh, there he goes again.
so good.
I mean,
Highly recommend. The best dark beer out there. I know there's plenty of you out there that would argue with me, but Guinness is the OG.
He's not hearing it.
No, I'm not hearing it.
no. I mean, why would you hear it?
So, all right.
Just like coffee's not a breakfast drink.
That depends on how your day's been going so far.
I don't even know what to say to that.
Yikes.
Chris's coffee is Dr. Pepper.
It
as
is.
we all know.
Yeah, no, that is
Yes.
for sure his coffee.
That's the best stuff. The best stuff. Okay, so last segment. We have a boostergram.
No.
We do. I know. It's amazing.
Don't act shocked.
Yikes. So,
So I finally got my fountain app to work again. It's been misbehaving on me for weeks.
yes.
Oy.
Yes. So, we have a boostergram for 777 sats.
Okay. The number of
That's
completion.
the number of completion. Absolutely. From yours truly, Jason Court, right here in the flesh, with a message that says, "Did John get my thanks for the PC versus Mac intro episode? Been struggling with Fountain lately. Hence the," and then it unfortunately cuts the message off.
Oh.
Listen, what were you going to say?
The initial part of that message was it was 777 for the burrito.
Oh, there you go.
So if you didn't see that, then it's
It's cutting off both ends.
concatenating and truncating and all
I guess
those other
the 777
things.
for the burrito, that almost looks like it came across to the subject.
Interesting.
And then but it does go to,
7-layer burrito.
apparently, thanks, Albie. You made some changes. Let me read that again. Did John get my thanks from the last PC versus Mac intro episode?
Yeah.
Been struggling with Fountain lately.
Hence the
Lack of boosts.
Oh.
Thanks a lot there, Fountain. You're dipping into our big bucks.
Not cool, Fountain.
If it was that critical, I could have found a different way to get them to you, but I was determined to get this app to do it.
Because
Because
that's a
No, I
3
get
month.
that.
That's 3 months of no boosts. Because the rest of y'all
Okay.
apparently don't get any benefit from the show.
On the PC versus Mac episode, I thought I boosted, but I don't know if it ever came through. That was
I would say no, because the last boost from you is June 24th.
interesting. So John was making some comment about how he was using a Windows machine at the time.
I was.
He
yeah.
was.
No,
And
I was.
I-
And then he gave up like a little
and I
girl.
boosted and said,
All right, you're cut off.
I boosted in the episode, and I was
That's amazing.
It's true. You gave up.
Like,
I did give up. I wouldn't say like a little girl, but
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Sorry, Tori.
yeah, right. Tori, he doesn't mean it.
She's not listening. It doesn't matter.
Still, it's
Even
out
my-
there for
Even
perpetuity.
my wife isn't listening.
I'll
which
have to
is
figure
so
out how to
sad.
get
Neither is
Tori to
mine. Don't worry
boost,
about
and
it.
then- I
This
sent,
boost came
I
from
sent
Tori
that boost
Kincaid.
thanking John for running with the PC for us other AV guys. That
Yes.
Yeah, it didn't go well.
no.
No.
Sorry.
There's so many applications that we use that are Windows only.
There is a Windows machine that I have running that I can use for that stuff.
Correct.
But
That's what I do too. So I was just like grateful you were taking the bullet and actually running the PC.
no, it's so bad. Sorry, Kris.
Go back to the PC.
I'm sorry, Kris. I didn't mean it. I wasn't trying to be hurtful. Anyway,
I agree. He wasn't trying to be hurtful. There was nothing thrown across the room.
Except for that bottle.
The cap of the bottle.
the cap of the bottle.
Yes.
That's it. No ninja stars or anything.
Yeah.
Jason, I cannot tell you how grateful we are to have had you on
Absolutely.
this podcast.
Well, do you have any other questions about Dante?
I mean, I'm sure we do. So you're
Yeah,
going to
I
have to
know.
come back.
I know.
That's all there is to it.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. It's called working at a church. And always trying to bring them back.
Yes.
There you
Can't
go.
tell you everything this time.
No. just enough to wet your whistle.
Well, I was, as the hour came closer, I was a little nervous. And I don't know exactly why. I just was.
Because it's all the thousands of people out there listening. Hello.
Yeah. I mean, how often do you talk to New Zealand?
Yes,
Never.
that
Not
did complete
very
the set, by the
often.
way.
Never.
Oh, and then one last fun little number. Yeah, we hit a milestone.
Is Australia on the
Drum roll, please.
No. Total number of downloads.
Yeah.
600.
Hey-yo.
That's big time.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, what marketing goes into this show?
None.
None at all.
I don't. Yeah. No. I tell Jason.
It's simple word of mouth. Yes.
Hey, Jason.
Yeah.
There's a new episode.
There's a new episode.
Wayne, if you're out there listening
Yes,
still,
Wayne.
I hope we crank the knob up loud enough for you.
There you go.
Nerd knob. There's a few
Thanks,
out there we
Wayne.
know that listen, right? A few.
There's a few. My most recent boss is apparently a new listener.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
His boss, too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's important to know so we don't.
I have 8 different bosses, Bob.
Oh, my gosh. Basically, I'm just trying not to get in trouble.
That's right.
I don't remember much about that movie.
Yeah,
but
my
it is
only real
hilarious.
motivation is to not screw up. So that way I don't have 8 different people telling me what I did wrong. That's a paraphrase,
That's
but
it.
you get the...
I need
you have
your
my
quote.
I believe you have my stapler. It's a swing line.
Can you tell me about the boss stitch versus the swing line, please?
Hey,
Oh,
dude,
man.
Channel 9.
Oh, it's been fun, guys. Truly.
Thanks for being here, man.
Going
Appreciate
off the
you.
rails.
Chris, always a pleasure.
Absolutely enjoyed it. Thank you, Jason.
Cheers.
See you, everybody.
That made the recording.
I don't know.
Might have.
I was holding the. Oh.